Tonight on Debbe Dunning's Dude Ranch Roundup, we're heading to Yucca, Arizona to visit Stagecoach Trails Guest Ranch. We're going to experience the desert like never before. I get to drive a Humvee, find a few gold mines, and learn some geology along the way. So let's get to it. Welcome to Debbe Dunning's Dude Ranch Roundup. This week, we're visiting Stagecoach Trails Guest Ranch in Yucca, Arizona. This ranch is located in the Mojave Desert, and let me tell you, it's hot. But the remote location offers beautiful, unobstructed views of the surrounding desert scenery. Along with plenty of old stagecoaches around the property, unique pieces of metal art are hiding around every corner, depicting images of Western life from long ago. This quiet and peaceful atmosphere is free of city lights and noisy traffic, so you can truly get in touch with nature and enjoy a little rest and relaxation.
What you don't see is the process.
I was barely out of the car by the time ranch owner JP and his wife Trisha were greeting us as we pulled up. Their family is a close-knit group. JP and Trish run the whole ranch with their 2 sons, along with a few ranchers, and of course, a top-notch chef. So right here the area this is that big stagecoach you just bought, which is fantastic. Yeah. I didn't realize it had a light.
We are surrounded by a lot of wagons, antique wagons. There's about 22 antique wagons around the ranch.
So I see you have a petting zoo over here.
And we're fortunate now, we got a bunch of baby goats. They're called kids.
That.
We got about 8 of them. They're about 4 weeks old. So this is our lodge.
Oh, pool table. I like pool.
Game
I see a
room.
bar, I see a wolf.
Oh, yeah.
And the favorite spot for all the guests is our vault here. We've got all kinds of goodies.
Oh, goodness.
A lot of goodies.
It's all honor system here.
Okay.
People always say, where do you go to party? Where do you go to drink? I'm like, this is my party. The party is here. Having people come, entertaining people, meeting people from all over the world. We are the town. This is literally a little town out in the middle of the desert.
I love that. JP didn't exactly grow up in a ranching family, but he quickly fell in love with the lifestyle after visiting his first dude ranch. You haven't been in the business very long. Guys, it's only been 5 years for you. I mean, where were you living before?
The ocean.
Okay, so you're at the ocean, and you're thrown into the desert, and you're thrown into this dude ranch, this country style. You guys seem to be adapting to it like no problem.
Learning everything here was so easy because we were loving every moment. Yeah, it's simple.
It's simple.
It is.
It's been easy to adapt to, I guess, because it's easier to go from the busy life to this life because this is just easy going.
And the guests make it wonderful
yeah.
and awesome and exciting and fun and
That's the best part about
rewarding.
it.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
it's the
because
guests.
Go
you
nuts
know.
out here if there was
It's
nobody else.
because you get to meet all these guests, and you're like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out with her, and you actually have a girlfriend from where?
I do. She lives in Denmark.
Okay,
She's
so
Danish.
what
And I met her here.
opportunity would you have ever had in your life to go, I'm gonna meet someone in Denmark?
Probably
No.
none.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. But then when you come together and find the love of the same thing, a lot of people do that in dude ranching.
That's right.
And you find your forever love. Well, I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
He's happy too.
You're next. There's not much daylight left, so JP gets me saddled up and we hit the trails just in time to catch an amazing sunset out along the Joshua trees. JP, you're living the life.
Yes, we are.
I appreciate you sharing it with me.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
I don't think we could have picked a better time.
No, it's beautiful. This time of year, it's spring. It's quite nice. Cactus start blooming.
Yeah.
Joshua trees just finished blooming. You can kind of see the pods left on top of them.
Yeah, there's
Some
still
flowers
some blooms
there a
on
little bit, but those are pretty neat. They usually bloom every other year.
Oh, every other year they
Yeah.
bloom? I didn't know that. You still got some great blooms on there.
Yeah, there's still some blooms left.
It's so nice when the desert comes alive.
This is how I want to spend the last phase of my life. Oh dear.
That's wonderful. That's what I said. People always ask me, were you born in the Midwest? And I said, no, but I plan on spending my life there on a horse.
So tomorrow we're going to go look at the gold mines.
Oh, yeah?
We're going to head out to some old gold mines out in the mountains.
Yeah.
A lot of history there. They're from the late 1800s to the early 1900s. So we'll be doing that tomorrow, and that'll be a fun ride. You actually get to go inside the the mountains and everything.
Oh,
so we'll
it's
have
going to
fun
be
with
gorgeous.
that.
I can't wait. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll ride out to some old mining territory and learn how to hunt for gold. Right here on Debbe Dunning's Dude Ranch Roundup. It doesn't take a genius to figure out why this place is called Stagecoach. They're everywhere. JP loves old wagons and stagecoaches, and he has several. Some are even old props from classic Western films. This stagecoach is the actual stagecoach from The Magnificent Seven, and what
Correct.
else?
Doc West.
Doc West,
And
okay.
a few other movies. The owner finally decided to sell it, and we brought it down here.
Oh, and you know what? What a fitting home for it.
It's
With
perfect.
the name of your ranch.
Absolutely. That's why I love this wagon collection we have here. There's over 22 antique wagons on the ranch.
Wow.
And I just want to show people what people used to ride in and all the different things.
This guy is a big fan of ranch life and the Old West. The first time he saw my show, he knew I had to come out and showcase this beautiful and unique property.
Well, we are honored and glad you're here because we've seen your show. It's a wonderful show, and I'm like, we got to get Debbie out here.
Yeah, well,
Show
I
her what we
appreciate
do.
it. And you know what? Not just show me, show the world. Show the world what you do. It's fantastic. All right, enough cruising around the ranch. I'm ready to check out gold mining territory in the surrounding desert hills. Joe Van Wick is a geologist from South Africa, and his knowledge of rocks and gems offers us a fascinating look at the Earth from the perspective of, well, someone who knows what the heck they're talking about. I thought it would be cool to bring him out because he's a geologist, and we're going into a gold mine, right, Wes?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We'll be going to the gold mine.
This will be a dusty ride through the desert flowers for those of us on horseback. Meanwhile, the crew is going to take an official ranch Humvee to get up a little bit ahead of us. Your horse might spook a little, but so just push him through. There are plenty of artifacts still standing out here that remain from a few hundred years ago.
When you sit there and you look at this barrel that's sitting up here in the saddle of this mountain here, on the other side of that barrel is an old mining camp.
Okay.
So that was just another source of water for them. So what they would do out here, they'd catch rainwater in this barrel, then they would pipe it down into the main camp, into their base camp. So that would be one source of water. So you probably look at a barrel like that and probably people like, Jesse James, people like that have seen that barrel. That barrel's been there since late 1800s, early 1900s. Starting about there, all the way through, you're gonna have your open mines. So where they came up with that saying, there's gold in them hills,
Yeah,
that's what they were after.
there's gold in them there hills.
Yes, ma'am.
Once we get on site, it's just a short walk up the hill to find an entrance to an old mine shaft, once used by prospectors hoping to strike it rich. So we just got off our horses. This is Tristan, and you met my friend Joe. We're gonna see some really cool old gold mines, right?
Oh yeah, this area, this is in the hills outside the ranch, and this whole area out here is full of old abandoned gold mines. About 100 years old. They go back early 1900s, and you can find all sorts of rocks, and I imagine you're going to have a field day finding
I will
all
tell you
sorts
one
of
thing,
different things.
he will be in his element.
Totally. Oh, that's a good one, Debbie. That's a good one. And I'll be the rock star.
The rock star. See that old ladder?
So, oh my gosh, so they used to just go in there.
That's how the miners used to get up and down, as crazy as it seems.
And you know what's scary? Back in the day, when Mr. Edison hasn't given the world the light bulb yet, people used to go down there with a candlestick.
That's right.
Like a hat, hard hat kind of thing with a candlestick in front. And they would go down there with a flame on their heads. And just help me God that you don't run into a methane gas pocket there, because things will go kaboom and it will look ugly.
Tristan, how do you know where to start digging? Like, how do you think they are like walking around and going, okay, I'm gonna start digging here?
Well, If I knew, I'd probably be a rich man. I mean, I would imagine maybe just a literal outcropping of gold or copper, but, you know, I don't know if you have a more scientific answer to that one.
What I'll be chasing first of all is look for veins. Probably 90% of the time it's quartz, right? You might have a bit of calcite and a few ancillary minerals, but it would be a quartz vein, and quartz is a very hard mineral. So quartz will make a feature. Like for instance, if you look at that ridge at the top of the mountain there.
Yeah, there you go.
There's a quartz vein right there. In the coloration,
Yeah.
the white color, and there's a clear ridge there.
Yeah.
So that would be a good target to
Go up there then.
to go and sniff around.
Well, that was all over my head. I'll just take Joe's word for it. And of course, I couldn't pass the opportunity to drive one of these big Humvees. So JP lets me get behind the wheel for the ride home. I get the opportunity to drive a Humvee. So let's see how I do. I push start. Hold on, JP. We're going for a wild ride. There's gold in them there hills. Are we on our way back to the thing? Is this the way back?
No, just remember you're very wide.
Sorry.
Much wider than a regular car.
Did you just say it was very wide? Some people like wide.
Another gold mine here. I don't know if you guys want to look at it. But...
When we come back, we're going to shoot some vintage firearms, take four-wheelers to the largest cactus I've ever seen, and sit around the campfire with some emotional support goats. Don't move. We'll be right back, right here on Debbe Dunning's Dude Ranch Roundup. Ringing the bell to announce each meal is a refined art. You have to do it just right to keep the proper rhythm.
You know, you ruined my rhythm. For 20 years.
He has his own
It's an own rhythm. You ruined it.
Breakfast is always a favorite meal at a dude ranch. You burn a lot of calories during the day, so a good breakfast is the best way to get started.
Our bacon is like just the best that any guest has ever had. And there is a secret way that Randy does it. He doesn't always tell you.
By the way, I guessed the secret ingredient, but I'm not going to spoil the surprise. You'll have to taste it for yourself.
Whoa. Oh, come on. It's got
No self-respecting dude ranch would let you leave without shooting a few guns. And JP has a nice setup with a little shade and a lot of ammo. Okay, JP, so you have this little area set out, and it's kind of cool. It's almost like we're buried in here to go shooting. Did you build this?
Yeah, it's a little trench we dug out and then used for the range. It's kind of covered, trying to keep it soundproof for the neighbors.
What are we shooting today?
Today, we are going to shoot a couple of oldies but goodies. This first one here is a Colt Army. This would have been used a lot by the cavalry back then.
Is the safety on?
There was no safety on these old guns. This shoots a 45 long Colt bullet, which was very popular back in the day. These are what we call single action, which basically means I can take this and I can point it out and pull the trigger and nothing's going to happen. You actually have to pull this all the way back.
Okay.
To shoot.
Okay.
That's why in the cowboy movies you see them kind of going like this.
Yeah.
It's not to be cool. It's the fastest way to get the bullets out because you can kind of click it back, but that's kind of slow.
Should we get started?
Let's get started. Let's first put some ear protection on. These can be loud.
Did I
Hear
get
that
it?
ricochet there?
You did something.
I heard,
That was the bullet ricocheting. The next one we're going to go is the rifle that won the West. This is a Winchester. This is a lever action, so basically you crank it each time.
oh,
The
like
bullet, yep, the bullet in this one's going to be much different than what we just shot. This is your 30-30 round, and this is the 45 we did earlier. This will easily travel a mile. It's long distance roads. For the rifle, basically you're going to hold it in your shoulder like this. Put your cheek down inside there, aim. Same concept. Right eye.
Is the safety on right now?
There is no safety on this.
Oh, okay.
You want to crank it?
I think it's important that I
when
do
you
it.
crank it, it's very clean action, okay?
Just really
You want to
wise.
go all the way to the end and back. If you slow down or you jam the bullet in there. So make sure it's a nice, clean action, okay?
Here.
There you go. Perfect. Nice job. Go.
warm.
Some of these guns were used by stagecoach drivers for quick protection in the event of a robbery.
This last one, if you've ever seen an old show called The Rifleman, this is the gun he had. It's also known as the mare's leg. Okay.
The mayor's
leg, because you can wear it on your leg like this, kind of like a mare's thing. This will hold 6. It also shoots the 45 long Colt, which again was a very popular round back then. There's really no right way to shoot this. I mean, you can kind of go like this, it's kind of goofy. You can go like that, or you can do like they do in the movies, the rifleman, you just kind of go out here. That's the fun way.
Shoot from the hip.
By the hip. Shoot by the hip and shoot.
So I don't think I've ever done this before. Yeah. How do they hold it with one hand and shoot? How do they do that? How do they hold the weight of this up?
There you go. Nice.
Now we move on to the bow and arrow. It always takes a little more finesse and upper body strength than just shooting guns.
Nice.
Woo! That is a lot of power. Wait till you pull that one back. That one is very difficult. Oh! I don't even know where mine went. At least you don't have to go searching for bullets. Something that's certainly unique about Stagecoach Trails Guest Ranch is the campfire goat session. You heard that right? Yeah, sitting around the campfire, enjoying your coffee or hot chocolate and conversation while you get to cuddle one of these little baby goats. It's unreal. It's actually kind of fun. Well, at least when they're not peeing on you, that is. You must be kidding me. Send the pictures, goat. Not having fun. Okay, we're gonna take 5 and enjoy the rest of our night. But when we come back, we take a 4-wheeler adventure to see something quite spectacular. Don't move. We'll be right back in a flash on Debbe Dunning's Dude Ranch Roundup. Riding a 4-wheeler through the desert is a lot different than riding a horse. You're not quite as worried about falling off and, well, landing on one of the many sharp, stinging plants designed to poke holes in your fun afternoon. So where are we going today?
We're going to go up to those big mountains over there where you see all those yellow wildflowers. And we're going to go up into one of those canyons and we're going to tour around. I'm going to show you guys a real cool old horse corral up there, literally back from the Western days. And then I'm going to show you a really big cactus.
All right, let's do this.
Absolutely. Like I said, you just start
I thought that quad was normal size until you got on it.
Well, they don't have a quad called Tiny, don't they?
Well, maybe I should get one.
Yeah.
That would be very fitting.
The rush of the wind in your face as the sun-baked landscape races past is something you have to experience to truly appreciate. And up here are the remains of some old cattle pens, beautifully weathered with age, reminding me of a scene straight out of an old Western movie. Tell me about this corral.
This is an old cattle corral. This spot here is well over 100 years old, and you'll find these kind of scattered throughout the whole desert range out here. And basically what they were was the cowboys with their cattle and their horses would come to these spots, and usually there was water available. This particular area, they had a pipeline literally running. Yeah, right here. This runs up another mile up into the mountains to an old... was a natural spring.
Where it collects? Oh,
yep,
it was
a natural spring. Okay. They couldn't get water here, so they would pipe the water all the way down with these little pipes, piece by piece, into this big tank here. And that would fill up and it'd be able to divvy out the water for the cattle and the horses and whatnot.
So I understand you guys bring your guests out here and you sleep.
Sometimes we do that. Yep. It's rugged, all right. Little table.
So you just have a bunch of cots, you throw it out here, everybody's got their little spot, and you just fall asleep.
Many times you'll be woken up actually by coyotes in the early morning. Almost every time I come up here, I hear coyotes in the early morning down in this wash right here. And you know, right as that sun rises, which is really pretty amazing. It's a very primal feeling to wake up to animals.
I like it.
Making noise.
I still wake up to coyotes, and I live in San Diego. I hear them.
In the city,
I do.
Yeah.
A little further up the trail is something even older than these cattle pens. A huge cactus, possibly the biggest in Arizona. This one has stood over and watched the landscape for hundreds and hundreds of years.
So the reason that you'll see saguaro cactus up here is because we're quite a bit higher than the ranch. The ranch sits at about 1,800 feet above sea level. Saguaros ideally like to grow above 2,000 feet. And right now, we're probably at about 2,200 right now.
Okay.
And this is why, if you start looking up, there's one up there, one over there, you're going to start seeing them further up into the valley.
Yeah.
And it's all about the elevation. There's probably some science behind it in terms of, the air quality or where they can grow and whatnot. But that's it's a big factor. And this is where you start to see them. And there's a lot of them up in these mountains and in these canyons. And this is just such a shining example of how massive they can get. And if you actually, and speaking of rocks, if you look at the roots, it's growing in rock.
Yeah, in rock.
It is literally growing in the side of the mountain in a rock. And I wonder if that has helped kind of keep it really rooted for all these years.
Strong foundations, man. That's what it's about. And that's obviously keeping that big boy up. So definitely. Because we're sitting on metamorphic rock, you have a lot of sort of cleavage areas, openings between rock layers. For the roots to sort of take that channel, that growth, and that solidifies it. So, absolutely fantastic example. Great specimen. Wow.
Well, this has certainly been a pleasure this week.
That was.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for coming out.
It was a great weekend.
It's a long trip from South Africa, but I appreciate it. So thank you.
Thanks for having me, and thanks for all these wonderful people. And
thanks for letting us cruise
JP,
it on
you've got a
your
good
trip.
thing going here, and come to Stagecoach.
Yeah.
You'll enjoy it.
Stagecoach Trails guest ranch. Let's make sure we get the whole side. A customary way to celebrate your final night at Stagecoach Trails guest ranch is to light off a cannon salute and say goodbye.
So a tradition here we do at the ranch is we shoot a cannon to celebrate sunset. And Debbie's volunteered to shoot the cannon. And you're just gonna pull hard. Everyone ready? You're gonna pull hard.
Ready, everybody? Yeah, ready. Did it! Thank you so much. Oh man, we've had a great time. There's something about the desert, the wagons, and the landscape that just feels like the true Old West out here. And the McCormick family wouldn't have it any other way. Hey, I just want to say thank you so much. This family has welcomed me into their family, and that's one really cool, unique thing I can do. I can float from family to family, but no, I have it anytime I want to come back. So, thank you so much. Oh, thank you.
Anytime.
I had a good time here. A family concert in the lodge gives us all a reason to enjoy each other one last night and let Joe steal the spotlight one more time. That's it for now. Be sure to join us next time, right here on Debbe Dunning's Dude Ranch Roundup. When you're ready to book your Dude Ranch vacation, visit our website for more information. And don't forget to tell them you saw it right here on Debbe Dunning's Dude Ranch Roundup.